In the pilot of the Digital Circus, Pomni encounters one of the greatest threats in the virtual world, Abstraction. She arrived at the tail end of Kaufmo's journey at the circus as Caine's various exit doors drove him toward insanity. Ever since, Pomni and the others have gone about their lives with that threat lingering in the back of their minds. Jax once made a jab at Kinger, stating that they all thought he would be next, but if the latest episodes are anything to go by, a cruel twist of fate has put Jax on the chopping block. It's a twist that few of us saw coming, but as we draw closer to the series' final episodes, it's a possibility I have to explore. That's why today's video will discuss the stressors that could push Jax into abstraction.
Why didn't you fight back?
Oh, here we go! Because I didn't fight back, that means I secretly care about you?
Number 1. Guilt consumes him. Jax doesn't care about anyone, at least that's what he wants them to think. In episodes 5 and 6, he lets his walls down enough to start spending more time with Pomni. Surprisingly, they find out that they get along and can have fun together. Pomni appears to genuinely enjoy herself for the first time since Gummy Goo's harsh reset. Unfortunately, Jax catches on to Pomni getting attached to their new dynamic, and he shuts her down hard. He lashes out and refuses her friendship, going on a rant about how cruel and uncaring he is. Of course, Pomni doesn't buy it and tries to force the truth out of Jax, but he can't bring himself to fight her. In my opinion, his unwillingness to resort to violence, something he claims to love, proves that he's lying. After Pomni gives up and returns to the other circus members, Jax sits alone at the character awards. However, Pomni notices him leaving the audience and retreating to the bathroom. There, Jax starts to unravel, his breath becomes uneven, he experiences tunnel vision and the rest of the world falls away. It almost reminds me of a panic attack or something similar. It's also the first time we see Jax in such distress, and it's brought on after he lashes out at Pomni. If he does care for her like she believes, and if he does want friends but won't accept them, then he might feel guilty for pushing her away. If so, it's likely he's done the same to everyone else at the circus and that his guilt for hurting them is starting to crush him.
Does exist?
Could also mean you just have a jump start and losing your mind.
Number 2. His facade cracks. Continuing from the Jax's guilty theory, it seems like he's putting on a show that makes him unapproachable. He's cruel, violent, and apathetic, which makes him antagonistic in most situations. When Caine starts using the suggestion box, Jax goes on adventures that allow him to hurt others without consequence, and he never apologizes when he goes too far. When Pomni tries to be his friend, he tells her face to face that he doesn't care about her and that he doesn't want her friendship, but the writing is on the wall. Throughout the episode, we see how much fun he has with Pomni and that he starts to open up in her company. While he can lie to her until he's blue in the face, he can't lie to us, the viewers. During the same episode, Jax explains some of his mentality toward the circus. Instead of holding on to his mentality, he's accepted the fact that he and everyone else are no better than cartoon characters. Therefore, he lives by the logic of cartoon characters. One of his strategies is to adhere to a specific archetype for his character. In his mind, he's the funny one, the character who can laugh at anything, turn any situation into a joke, and find joy at another's expense. However, I think this mentality is more of a fake it until you make it tactic, which can only take him so far. Once his mask breaks like it did in episode 6, his real emotions will start slipping through the cracks.
Do you think Gangle is actually capable of being happy?
Number 3. Ribbit haunts him. So, Jax claims that he doesn't want friends and doesn't care about the others in the circus. The way he explains it to Pomni, it almost sounds like that's his default personality that carried over from the real world. However, we know that Jax can and does care for other people, a secret that Ragatha let slip. She mentioned that Jax didn't have friends after another circus member left, which earned her such an angry reaction from Jax that it must have been genuine. He didn't hurt or threaten her in the moment, he merely fixed her with a stern, rageful stare, which was more than enough to end the conversation. We later get a scene of Jax and Pomni in the Hall of Bedrooms. For whatever reason, Caine keeps the bedrooms of everyone who has been abstracted, blocking off their doors with an X. Jax takes a moment to acknowledge the room, which features a frog-like character, obviously the abstracted friend Ragatha mentioned. Now that his missing friend has been brought to his attention, Jax may be haunted by his memory and the moments leading up to his abstraction. Grief and guilt might combine and be the final push that allows Jax to join his friend in the circus's cellar.
Ow.
I can get him.
Wait!
Trust me, partner, I got this.
Number 4. Caine goes too far. While Pomni might push Jax to be honest about his feelings, Caine pushes the circus members in different ways. I still can't tell if his incompetence is an act or not, but he doesn't understand how harmful his adventures are to the humans. He often pushes them past their limits, forcing them to endure conditions that push their physical and mental limits. Recently, he has also started imposing on their boundaries, testing how much he can get away with. For example, he now sings outside Zubal's room until she comes out to join an adventure. He also transmitted the rules of an adventure directly into Jax's mind, which is a serious violation. If he's capable of transmitting information like that, who's to say he isn't feeding other information to the humans who live there or taking knowledge away? One of the greatest mysteries the trapped humans face is the amnesia they experience after arriving at the Digital Circus. While they may not recall their names, they can still remember key details about their personal lives, such as their former jobs and aspirations. Is it possible that Caine's responsible for this limited amnesia? Is he the one who makes it hard for Kinger to live at the circus? And if so, could he scramble the minds of others? As we know, Jax causes continued tension in the group, and he's not afraid to break the rules. Caine might push him too far in an attempt to regain control, triggering an abstraction.
Moses and abstracted! Kaufmo abstracted? Why didn't anybody tell me?
Number 5. Group isolation. As we've already covered, Jax claims to hate everyone and he makes their lives difficult. While he might tease or harass people like Zubal and Kinger, he's downright mean to Gangle and Ragatha. Despite his cruelty and increased hostility, the others allow him to stay in the group. They allow him to sit with them, spend his downtime with them, and go on group adventures. Their decision to include him might be a desperate bid to maintain their own sanity. After all, they only have one another in this digital world, and without a sense of community, they could all succumb to abstraction. Of course, a desire for community can only take them so far. Eventually, they might make the group decision to exclude Jax from their activities, ensuring their peace. While he might act like he's okay with the new isolation, being alone with his thoughts will only be a recipe for disaster. Not only will he lose the one thing that's truly grounding him in his humanity, but he will have no one to distract him from the circus and its horrors.
You know, you could have asked for my consent before forcing me to see something so completely and utterly disgusting.
Number 6. Phobia exposure. Part of Jax's grand plan to make everyone hate him is forcing them to endure their worst fears. We see this time and again with Ragatha, who has a deep-seated fear of centipedes. He also makes Gangle miserable by breaking her comedy masks, forcing her to endure prolonged sadness each day. In the latest episode, we learn that Jax has a phobia as well. While he's not bothered by bugs or blood, a typical ear of corn can send him running in the opposite direction. Zubal and the others found his fear strange and hilarious, but Pomni discovered its deeper meaning. Jax actually has a phobia of small holes or fissures, and continued exposure to his greatest fear might be the key to his abstraction. It would explain why they introduced his fear so close to the series finale.
You suffer. I'm the one who causes pain for fun!
Since Pomni's first day at the circus, Jax maintained a practiced facade. He's adamant that his life at the circus doesn't bother him and that he's adjusted to life as another cartoon character among the rest. He doesn't care if the others hate him or if they push him out of the group. He finds comfort in the chaos and treats violence like it's a walk in the park. If I didn't know any better, I would think that his behavior was a coping mechanism to keep himself from going insane. If he pretends that he's okay with everything happening, then it won't hurt him when something else goes wrong. In the latest episode, it appears that Pomni reached the same conclusion. What do you think? Is Jax trying to fake it until he makes it? Is his time at the circus coming to an end? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
After a while, it gets kinda hard to tell how genuine she's actually being.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
You know, when Ragatha gets off, I feel like she might need a designated driver.
Why are you asking me?